Welcome to the Edge Up podcast with your hosts Reed and Glenn from Hawaii Trading Academy.
Aloha guys, Reed and Glenn here. Thank you for listening. We're excited to talk to you about advancing your mental strength in this episode. This is episode 38. We're going to talk about the cycles of a trader, what that does to us when we're going through drawdowns, and 3 ways to implement some solutions to those scenarios. So without further ado, let's get into it.
So I was reading up a study on CF from the Commodities Future Trading Commission, CFTC. They found that 2002 to 2005, 70% of retail Forex traders lost money. Now, this is a group of traders. The Forex market is huge as we know it. So this could be some sort of good representation on what these retail traders are dealing with. While they were saying that 70% lost money, it's difficult to kind of attribute solely that it's due to the reason why people lost money is due to struggle with discipline, emotional control, and other mental factors, right? But it's worth noting, if you guys have studied the greats, the top guys in the hedge funds, you should know, you learn that they have a great level of mental toughness, mental strength. The ability to maintain mental strength and resiliency can help these traders bounce back and to continue to succeed in the long run. So tune in. We're going to be going through that particular reason or thing. Like, why do 70% of traders fail or lose money? So in our trading experience, Reed, I'm sure you can relate to this. Our mental capital, our mental game, we'll go through cycles as the market does, right? You know, and what happened? What was that first initial emotion that you experienced when you found out about trading, found out about the market? What was going through your mind? What kind of emotion?
I thought initially I thought that I was going to get rich quick. You know, it was like I'm going to be rich overnight. I'm going to be driving Lambos. Uh, I was very optimistic, and I wanted to learn more about it. So like I would see the results, and I wanted to get to those results fast. So definitely started with a lot of excitement, a lot of optimism, and just a genuine curiosity of how people were doing it.
Yeah, yeah. And what
How
happened?
about yourself, man?
What happened? Well, I was excited too, but what happened after you took your first trade?
Oh, dude, I won. So it was a feeling of euphoria for sure. And like
Right.
I'll just go like continuing on through the whole cycle of my within like the first month of trading. I went from this optimistic kid, really excited, making money. I'm at euphoria. Then I'm like, oh man, I get complacent. I'm like, I could do this. Let's keep doing the same thing and risking a lot. Like risking the entire capital just to make that money back, right? Or make that money. I ended up losing discipline. I had no discipline to begin with. And then I got sad, I got depressed, like, oh my God, this is a lot harder than I thought. I lost my money, lost my wins, and then the cycle repeats. Like I just kept getting into I wasn't learning anything. So I would say that's like pretty much a cycle that I was going through a lot.
Yeah, and for I could relate to that starting with my journey as well. I started with optimism and curiosity and excitement as well. And when I was going through my trades, I was going through that same phase. But the thing is, too, instead of chasing good, solid trading, I was chasing the excitement, the feeling, rather than, you know, my bank account or my broker account didn't reflect that I was doing well. But in my mind, I was so caught up in my mental or emotions, the way I was perceiving things. I was blinded by what was actually happening. I was I wasn't disciplined. I had no system. Kept losing money, and you just naturally go on this roller coaster, right? Starting with optimism, you get excited, you make some trades, you reach a peak, euphoria, and then you become comfortable, complacent. Then you start slipping, right? You're like, you know what? Yeah, let me just take this trade. It's a letter C trade or a D trade where the probability is low. And then you're like, nah, okay, well, I'm up anyways. I made this much last week, so I'm okay. I'm playing with the market's money, right? And then that slip, that's all it takes, right? You come fumbling back down, and then you look at your broker account, you're like, yo, I lost all my gains, plus I'm down much more. Then you lose hope. You get to that point of being sad, depressed. You hit rock bottom where this is where 70% of those traders reach eventually, right? That rock bottom. And then say you still stick it out, right? And you go ahead and catch a winner and you get excited again. So we're on this journey, guys. We're on this journey and it's repeatable on any scale, meaning if throughout a year of trading, you're going to go through these phases as much as if you were managing one single trade. That one single trade, when you get that proper signal and you get in, you start to get excited. You start to get optimistic. Okay, it's going in my favor, right? You go ahead and try to manage your trade, right? And like Bitcoin, you're on the run on Bitcoin and it's pumping each day, green bar, green bar. You're going long. You're like, dude, yeah. You're telling all your friends, screenshotting it, posting on social media. I'm up, guys. What's up? Right. And you think you're king of the hill. So that's one trade, but at the same time, you're still got this macro, this bigger mental cycle on, how your actual trading is throughout the whole year, because our emotions are not just, focused on one single thing. We have our lives, we have um our families, our relationships plus business or trading. So we're experiencing all these different emotions, and as traders, I've learned that it's important to know where you're at, man. Like, would you agree, Reed? Like, understand just where you're at in the cycle.
Yeah, as far as like the key feelings of any trading cycle, it's very important to acknowledge where you're at, because then that way you know how to. The quicker you could acknowledge it, the quicker you could get out of it. Is my interpretation of this whole of any emotion really. The moment you could label it is the moment that you come begin to come out of it. It's
And
all
would you
temporary. There's that there's that quote. It's like good things are temporary and bad things are temporary. So it's just like it's all temporary. As far as that's more of a deeper understanding of a lot of things. But I think just that's very relatable to trading. Is like these losses are temporary, the wins are temporary.
do
It's
you
always
feel
based
like
on the next trade.
now are you going through your cycles in trading with these mental cycles? Do you feel like you're staying in these phases longer, or is it faster for you to go through it?
Oh yeah, faster, absolutely. And I think staying in the good feeling territory longer than the depression side, the rock bottom areas, uh, versus like being more excited. Because I would say like I'm stuck in that excitement slash optimistic euphoric area, and just I'm staying there deliberately because I don't want trading to become too of a place that I think of being sad and depressed or having a high stress. So that's my balance of it. Is take the appropriate breaks when needed and continue to stay in that frame of mind.
Yeah. And how, so like, when do you know to take a break? Like, when, say you're in the excitement period, right? Like, do you like, would it be wise to go ahead and still take a break even though you're still in that phase?
Yeah, it's just like drawdown. If you're in drawdown, take a break. If you're on a winning streak, my recommendation is take a break. maybe don't stop trading, but like take a break as far as full positioning, or take a break from your time that you actually trade, you know? So I mean, there's different breaks. There's many different breaks that you could apply to trading. I just think as far as I'm like in that boat where don't stop trading, just risk less, because I think if you stop trading, that's more detrimental to your psyche as well. Like shoulda, woulda, coulda been in a trade. That type of stuff will eat me up more than placing a trade for a loss. You know, it's like I want to be able to execute the trade whenever the plan says to execute.
Yeah, I want to point that
But
out how Reed was able to be aware of that part for him. You know, it may not be the same for me or other traders for you guys listening, but knowing that it's going to be detrimental if he misses a trade, a solid trade, you know. So that's one of those things where you got to determine as a trader, and you're going to learn this yourself, whether you can take a full break or still be in the market, but with a smaller size and whatnot. You can determine that. Like for me too, I agree. When I'm not feeling it, there's days I'm just not feeling it. You know, you can't be Kobe or Jordan every time and just shoot aces all day, like be on fire. They're gonna have their off games, right? And so for me, like mentally, when I feel I'm not excited or on my A game, I will just take a break. Even though no matter if I'm up or in a drawdown, take a break. And I've learned for me, if I just focus on other things, um, I will start missing trading. And then that's a cue for me to be like, okay, my break is done. Let me get back in, you know? So that's
there
something
you
I've
go.
learned.
That takes time, man. That
It takes
takes
time.
time and maturity, and a lot of self-reflection on your end. Like, okay, I'm not going to trade in. There's people who are like take a break and they'll walk away from trading for a longer period. But like you've accepted, like, okay, I need my breaks, but I'm always going to come back to trading.
Yeah. Yeah. Even on vacation, bro, like our mind, it's gonna remain on our in our minds, you know, if trading. The markets will remain on our minds. But the key is when you're not in the right frame of mind, then it wouldn't be wise for you to go ahead on the charts and take action on your account, right? Which leads
Yeah.
us into the second tip on advancing your mental strength is, you know, being able to go be mindful and practice meditation, or being able to clear your mind to for you to get to a calm neutral state, you know. So traders practice use those different practices. I know Ray Dalio, he's big on meditation, and that's how he's able to bring a calm aura when he's him and his company. Well, I think he stepped down, but Bridgewater is managing 120 billion or something under assets. You cannot make
Yeah, even
Van
Van
Tharp.
Tharp, he does meditation a lot too.
Yeah. So like what, you know, if for those who don't know the benefits of meditation or having a clear mind, traders are able to improve their focus, reduce stress, and improve emotional control, which all you need those in order for you to make great decisions, the right decisions in the markets, because there's a lot of things going on. And us humans, we have survival mechanisms built in where we will make decisions based on our current emotions, whether that be fear, whether that be greed, whether that be ego, judgment. We have those different things, those different mechanisms. And if you don't have a clear mind, then that will lead to, you know, bad trading, bad performance.
Yeah, when I think of like, well, mindfulness and meditation, they're two different things. Mindfulness is like you're observing the present and you're being in the present. You're mindful of your actions and the deeds that you're doing. And I think that's very important in trading. I think Mark Douglas, he talks about being in the flow state. You don't get into the flow state without being mindful of what you're feeling right now and what you're going through. So, I mean, mindfulness is that step along the way to get into the flow state. And then with meditation, that helps you just clear that mind, clear that the busy mind, yeah, the monkey mind, and it disallows those thoughts, those intrusive thoughts, to interfere in our trading practice. So it's all practice, meditation practice,
Hmm.
mindfulness practice,
Hmm.
trading practice. Life is a continuous practice, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And our third tip for you guys, I mean, we have some extra bonus things for you, but journaling and self reflection, I feel like the mindfulness, these things are all relatable. These things are all relatable. And at the same time, there's a correlation between these three tips. It's how to improve ourselves. We're not even talking about how to improve your trading system, how to improve your risk management. We're talking about let's fix us, man, because we have control over that. We don't have control over if the market's trending, if it's in consolidating or whatnot, what stocks are going to be going up or down. So for me, what stands out is the self reflection. I mean, the act of journaling does lead to self reflection naturally. Okay, if you're doing it, if you're doing the action and being consistent with it, it was a big turning point for me. When I actually took the time to be intentional and look at my journal, look at my mistakes, look at my terrible trades, right? Terrible. But I put a red, I had to go to a store and pick me up a red pen because that will, for me, reflect, that's a reflection on me. Okay, here's a mistake I did. I need to highlight that for myself, get that ingrained in my mind and learn from it, you know?
Yeah, we sound like a broken record. I think the last three episodes we've talked about journaling and how important journaling is, but I think it's because as we grow through and we go through our this trading career, we realize like journaling has been our best ally on in our own trading worlds, like your personal and my personal life, just and seeing it in the local community with our the people that we trade with, just them having a journal that they're able to identify what they can improve on. And I think that's the biggest thing. We
But
always want to get better, and the way to do that is through journaling. So I mean, we can't talk about journaling enough, it seems, man.
we got
But
to look
like
at the past to
besides
improve our future. These are practical takeaways that you can implement right away, right after this episode is done. Like you guys can do that. Try it out if you haven't already. You know, the breathing exercises. There's lots of different variations out there of breathing. A particular one, Reed, you can just share like the box breathing. Like, what is the whole template on box breathing?
yeah, so box breathing is like the most simplest type of breathing to calm the mind that I've implemented in my life, and I tell others to do it all the time during stressful situations, and especially something like trading. You know, you want to come in with a clearer mind. So it's you're inhaling for 4 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're holding that peak at the inhale. So you hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're letting out for 4 seconds, exhaling. So 2, 3, 4. And then you're holding that exhale on the last beat for 4 more seconds. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
So it's like that. Super easy. Do that like 5 rounds and you'll be good. I already feel good after, 1.5. So I mean, that's something that you could definitely implement right now.
Right now. I mean, you'd recommend people
Right.
sit down, right, when they do it?
I've done it when I'm driving, but I don't recommend that. I'm
You
just
don't
saying
recommend it,
that's
bro.
you can. Okay, my
Okay.
bad. You know, the safest way to do this
Yeah.
is in your sitting down, not moving.
Not moving, not driving, man. You're sitting at your desk
Yeah.
before you turn on your computer,
Be
maybe.
safe. Be safe. Be smart. Be safe.
Be smart. Box breathing. Yeah, that's great. There's all these different ones I've heard of, the Wim Hof method. There's all these different things and lots of new research that's surfacing that backs that with these breathing exercises, it helps your blood flow more oxygen to the brain. And of course, what are we using when we're trading? We're using our damn brain, guys. We are mental athletes. So definitely try it. Check out that breathing method, the box breathing method. Visualization is another key thing, that I've learned and picked up from other great traders and even athletes and just overall high performance people. They spend a few minutes. Try this, like, you know, we're Reed was talking about how we have like monkey brain. It's just 1,050. I think they said 50,000 thoughts run through our brain every day, every 24 hours. Try to be intentional, block out 5-10 minutes of just visualization. So visualize yourself turning on your computer, visualize yourself loading up your charts, visualize seeing your setup, your signal, and visualize getting in there full size. you know Visualize your numbers, what candles the chart formation is going to look like, right? Visualize the news is just pumping at you, and that way you can just rehearse on, kind of putting yourself through that scenario, right? And that way you can prepare for when it does actually happen. And it's free. It doesn't cost you money. You don't have to lose money on the actual trade. You just sit down, do some intentional visualization. That leads to repetition, right? So these daily little actions you can implement today, you can implement this week, right? Just being able to do it day in, day out. They say there's that you ever heard of the 100 rule, Reed?
It's like 100 hours or 1,000
Yeah,
hours. Is that
100
what it is?
hours, 100 hours. You spend 100 hours a year doing the thing you want to learn or do or improve on. So that equals to 18 minutes a day. And if you spend 18 minutes a day practicing trading or charts, reading, and whatnot, um, you'll be better than over 90% of the population. And so the repetition, that's how you create new, healthier habits.
I think something cool to notice is that like you don't need to do much, man. Like you're saying, like it made me think that 18 minutes a day, you don't need to do much to be better than most people. Like, I mean, that's a sad state of reality. Like to say, like, oh, all I gotta do is 18 minutes on something that I want to improve at. Like that's too easy. I mean, then in hindsight, it is, but like it's insane. Just that stat alone, if it's true, I mean, that's it's mind blowing because it's like, wow, not many people are doing that, and that's incredible. Too many people live a complacent type of life, you know.
Yeah, you gotta think about like the society nowadays, man. Like we're so used to everything on demand, Uber Eats, Uber,
Yeah,
delivery.
instant gratification.
Right. We click a button, it's at our door, it's in front of us. Amazon. So the whole idea of mental toughness, resiliency in the world, or grit, grinding it out, that's becoming less common. Like technology is great, like we use it, we embrace it, but when it starts bringing you down as a person and your overall well-being, then that's something where you might have to retract and be aware of. So let's close this one out, bro. Like, any closing remarks on this mental toughness?
Your mental strength is mental toughness, and mental toughness, the way that I've been taught, it's resiliency, right? It's resiliency to overcome tough situations or challenges in life. It's an ongoing process that requires self-development, and that's the only self-development you'll get is through practice and reviewing of that practice. So like whenever I'm back testing, that's part of self-development. I'm practicing what I want to see and my actions and the risk that I'm going to take on certain moves, right? And then after I take it, after I do all that, after I take live trades in the market or doing the back testing, I need to review those and see if where there's room for improvement. If I did anything wrong, can I improve and do something better? And so if I don't, then I bring it to Glenn, I bring it to the community, ask questions, and asking is another form of strength too. It's our ego that doesn't want to ask those questions to other people. It's our pride. We're afraid that, oh, someone's going to make fun of us if I ask that maybe an obvious question, but what's obvious to other people may not be obvious to you, and vice versa, right? So just don't be afraid to ask questions, because that's all part of self development. That's part of just developing that resilient mindset. And that's all I have to say, Glenn, man. Like, this is, I love mental toughness.
That's right,
It's
guys. Rule 100, 18 minutes a day, guys. 18 minutes. Just listen to our podcast for 18 minutes. Maybe you'll start building that. But
there you go, there
on
you go.
that on that note, guys, thanks for listening to this great episode of the Edge Up podcast. You can find more episodes and more resources at HawaiiTradingAcademy.com. Follow us on all social medias at Hawaii Trading Academy. Whether you're looking to improve your trading mindset and growth, we'll provide you with the tools, tips, and inspiration you need to make your next breakthrough. So tune in and let's edge up together.